Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jessica with Busy Beans Crochet, and today's video is going to be about a doll that I have remade. And if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or you see my shorts, you probably have seen this doll a few times. And so this is the doll that I'm talking about, and this is the remake. And so now I have two. And so what this video is going to be is a compilation of the shorts, as well as some notes and lessons that I learned while making this doll. So right off the bat, you can kind of see some differences. There is a size difference. And so what's so funny is I use the same yarn and hook, and I did learn quite a few things, and so I am going to go into detail as to what I learned, uh, some of my failures, what I will be doing next time, and hopefully this will encourage you to take a second look at a pattern that potentially you weren't as comfortable or doing the first time, or you weren't as successful doing the first time. You may be more successful the second time around, and so hopefully some of the things I learned will help you out as well. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so changing angles here. So I do want to make it known that I am not responsible for this pattern. I did not create this pattern. All credit goes to the creator. And this is her username right here. This is the pattern for the fairy doll. And this pattern can be found on Etsy. That's where I purchased it. And I will link it down below. So if you're interested in making this doll, you can go ahead and purchase it. I have made this pattern twice. And I have also purchased two more from her. One is for a bee doll, which I hope to make here soon. And I will be keeping that doll because it's so cute. And another one is for this Barbie doll. However, for Barbie, this pattern is no longer available, and it might be because of copyright issues. I did make this doll not last year, 2023, when the Barbie movie was out. I did add this and all the rhinestones that was in the pattern. I did modify the hat. The hat was more like a fedora looking hat, and I did add all these just so it could look like Barbie herself. But the rest was part of the creator, and she makes very beautiful patterns. So I highly recommend that creator, and you can check her out once again on Etsy. So now diving into the doll from this video. So the first doll I made is right here, and she's very beautiful. And when I finished her, I was so proud of myself because there's so many details in this doll, and she's just really, really pretty. Um, so I'm gonna put her there, and then I'm gonna bring in the one that I just finished. And so here she is. And so right away you can tell there's a size difference. Also, I forgot to mention that this is the yarn I use for these Amigurumi projects. It's Yarn Art Jeans. It's a 2-weight 50-gram ball, 174 yards, and I purchased this yarn from hobbiness.com, and I'll link it down below. It's cotton, 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. So it's really easy on your hands, and the stitch definition is just great. And I use a 2.75 millimeter hook. However, I think I'm going to start using a 2.5 millimeter hook just because of some of the gapping there. The stitches could be tighter, so I may look into doing that. Some of the things I learned was my tension wasn't even. And so this project, the first one, I made it over a course of a few months, couple months there. And this one was about 3 weeks. And so I think every time I picked this project up, I was using different tension. It wasn't even. And so you always want to use even tension. And then the next thing was I looked up how to sew the heads on better. So here you can really see her neck. It's not sewed on the best. Here I am learning, I'm getting better. So things like that, like how to sew body parts together, that will really help the final product look best. Oh, and going back to tension, you can see the tension a lot here in the face. So her cheeks are kind of messed up a little bit. Here, her cheeks are nice and round, her face is round nicely. And so, also, doing the pattern again, I learned more about what the pattern was asking. So, specific parts is like the wings. The wings are built using the third loop. And when I first did the wings on this one, I had such a rough time because I didn't understand what it was asking me to do. But second go around, I'm like, oh, I understand. I know what to do. So that was easier. And it was less of a hassle because I already knew that unique technique and stuff. Also, when looking back here at her feet, her accessories on her legs, I did do them differently. And so I actually understood the pattern now. It wanted two instead of one. So things like that. Um, you get to learn about what the pattern's asking specifically. And so the most important one, though, here is proper materials. So this first one, I use this hook from, where's the camera? I use this hook from Amazon. And if you can tell, if the camera will focus, this hook is not the best. And so that's probably why my tension was failing there. It's got this weird indent. And so this is a hook from Amazon. And then I got this other hook from Amazon, and it's a lot better. It's there's no bump there, as you can tell. But now, for my next go around, I did pick up a Clover Amore hook, and I think this is going to make a world of difference. I think it's going to just be easier to get through the project quickly. My tension will be nicer, and so I did buy these smaller hooks, thinking I wasn't going to invest that much time into making small crochet projects like this, but it always will pay off to invest in the proper materials in order to avoid injuries and also to have a beautiful finished product. So, going forward, I will always use the proper hook, and now I have the experience and knowledge to know to do that. So, another one was the polyfill. So, uh, well, when I first started crocheting, I didn't know if I was going to be into it or stick to it. So I was buying the Michaels brand polyfill, and I had no idea that it was any different than the polyfill brand name one. And so recently, about a couple months ago, I went to Michaels and they were out of their brand polyfill. So I bought the name brand polyfill. So I bought the name brand polyfill, and I am shocked that I had no idea that that one is way better. It's more fluffier, and it seems like duh, right? But I had no idea. So in the process of hoping to save a few bucks, I was potentially not doing the best for my project. So this one's made with the name brand polyfill. This one is with Michael's brand polyfill. And there is a difference, and I've noticed it in other projects as well. So that, and now finally, with this doll, because this is a display piece only, it's not meant to be played with. I was gluing on the parts, and so with this doll, I was using fabric glue with pins, and it was taking so long to get it all situated. I would have to glue a few pieces down and then wait a couple days for to go back and make sure they were stuck on before I could work. And especially with the hair, I mean, each strand I had to go one by one, make sure it was glued on properly before I could move on. However, with this one, I decided I was going to use hot glue, and I bought the Gorilla Glue hot glue, and it worked wonderfully. It was so quick to put her together, and all the pieces are secured. This is, again, just a display piece, so that's why the pieces can be glued on. A child will not be playing with these dolls. So even things like that, a hot glue made this project go by so much quicker and easier with less error. Where I failed, basically, where I learned that next time, this is what I want to do differently. So where I failed is I would like to invest in Ami sticks, and I'll put a picture up here. So essentially, these tools hold parts together while you sew them on. And I think this would be beneficial for sewing on the head because although her head is on straight, I think it could be straighter. So I think those things would help me. So I want to invest in some of those. Another thing is I wish I had used a thicker wire when in her arms so that they could bend a little more stiffer. I mean, they do bend, but I wish I had done that. So next time I will do that. And lastly, I didn't plan out specifically each strand of hair. I wish I had done that before just jumping in and starting to glue it down. And so I wish I had pinned it all down and gone one by one each strand. I think it would have been better and I wouldn't have had so much trial and error with it. There are some spots here, which it's okay, but I wish I had invested a little more time in doing that. Whereas this one, I did invest time in pinning each strand of hair just because that's what I had to do in order to get it to stay with the glue. So, things like that. That's what I learned. Alrighty, guys, so that's today's video. I hope you learned a few things alongside with me. I hope some of the lessons that I learned will help you out. So I did want to make this video while I do have these dolls in person. They are going to their forever homes here soon, and they will be happy on display for the rest of their for the rest of their lives. Um, Very cute. So this one's going to my mom, and this one was a commission. So they're going to be getting there soon. And so I do want to thank you all for the subscribers. I do want to thank you guys. There's almost 400 on this channel, and it's just incredible because I really love doing this, and I really love making things, and it's been a lot of fun, and it's kind of mind-boggling to know that there's 400 people out there that chose to subscribe to this channel, almost 400 that chose to subscribe to this channel and want to continue seeing my creations. If you are not subscribed yet, you can consider subscribing. It's free. If you like this video, please leave a like and comment down below if you were working on anything or if any of the lessons that I learned may potentially help you out. So I hope you guys have a good day and stick around. There's going to be more. Bye.